Man gets out of prison after spending 24 years locked away for a crime he didn't commit. He sues the city of Philadelphia and got all his charges expunged. Then on top of that, he was awarded $4.1 million.
So tell me how you feel.
Overwhelmed. Words can't explain.
24 years behind bars, you're now a free man. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, me and Jim gonna go eat some seafood together and talk about stuff.
And you're engaged to be married, right? Your fiance here to give you a hug as you walked out of prison today.
That was a lovely thing.
That was a lovely thing.
Yeah.
And your mom is here. She never gave up hope.
No, that's my number one fan. That's my number one fan.
Not even a decade had passed, and this man's about to be sent right back to prison for killing a man over $1,400. Yes, $1,400. What's up, my good people? I am the Mysterious Black Bandit. Y'all go ahead and do your boy a favor. Let's try to get this video to 1,000 views, and by doing that, you gotta hit the like button and subscribe and try to watch the video all the way through. It's a good video, so just check it out. Now, let's dive into this story to see how this person got himself in this horrible situation in the first place. On November 12, 1990, in North Philadelphia, the night before all this mess went down, at approximately 11:30 p.m., 16-year-old Shaurn Thomas was attempting to steal a motorcycle when the police rolled up and arrested him. They took him down to the station, and the only way for him to leave was for his mother to come and sign for his release. So the next day, which was November 13th, she came to the police station and picked him up. From there, him and his mother went directly to a youth study center on Benjamin Franklin Parkway for an intake interview at 9 a.m., where he signed a subpoena and was released. After this, his sister picked him up, and the two went straight home in the afternoon of November 13th, 1990. Now, you'll see in just a second why I'm going through all this. That same morning, a wealthy Puerto Rican businessman named Domingo Martinez picked up $25,000 in cash from a bank on Spring Garden Street in Philadelphia. Around 9:55 a.m., while Martinez was driving off, a white vehicle with a red roof struck Martinez's car on the driver's side. After the car came to a complete stop, 3 men exited out of the vehicle, and one of them, carrying a gun, shot Martinez through the windshield of his car. Now, 4 people had witnessed this murder, and they told the police that the shooter pulled Domingo out of the car and drove away in it, while the other 2 men climbed back in their car and followed them. But no one knew or could pinpoint who these people were. Now, in the early months of 1991, Philadelphia homicide investigators received a tip from an unknown source saying Domingo Martinez was killed by a gang of young men known as the G-Boys, who lived in Abbotsford Homes, which was a housing project in North Philadelphia. Now, let's fast forward to 1993. Shaurn and a group of his friends were hanging out at those same projects when 2 police officers singled him out as one of the murder suspects. Since it was a few years afterwards, he couldn't remember exactly what happened on that day, but his mother could. During his trial, his mother presented his signed subpoena from the juvenile court, but prosecutors argued to the jury that there was no proof that this was his signature. As the trial continued, the jury didn't hear testimony from his mother, sister, or the court administrator from that juvenile court. So despite having a pretty solid alibi, on January 31st, 1995, Shaurn Thomas, who was now 19, was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For years, knowing that he was innocent, he tried to fight the ruling himself, but every last one of his appeals were dismissed. So he took it upon himself and started writing letters. He sent out letters to just about everyone, telling his story and proclaiming his innocence. After serving 4 years and tirelessly fighting for his freedom, his story finally reached the right person in 2009. An attorney from the Pennsylvania Innocence Project received one of his letters and believed he could help him out. Now, this attorney had more than just a law degree. For 25 years, he was a police officer in Philadelphia before becoming an attorney. So with this experience, it helped him uncover records and information he needed for this case. In 2011, he found out about one of the most important pieces of evidence in this case. This was that signed log at the juvenile detention facility where Shaurn was being housed at when the murder happened. But this was later to be found missing because it was destroyed by the institution after 1 year as a standard procedure. Shaurn expressed to the attorney that he even told the detectives to look for his signature in the sign-in book when everything happened to prove his whereabouts, but they ignored all this critical information. This legal fight continued for years, and another shocking aspect of Shaurn's conviction was a missing case file. The police claimed that they lost a 36-page file on Martinez's murder case, which contained the names of other potential suspects. It had been over 20 years since it had went missing, but by May of 2017, somehow this file was mysteriously found, and it revealed a whole new perspective on this crime. The attorney tracked down and interviewed a key witness who had initially accused Shaurn of this murder 2 decades ago, and after some intense questioning, the witness admitted the truth, stating his accusations were false and admitted that he was lying on Shaurn. After serving 24 years in prison for second-degree murder, 43-year-old Shaurn Thomas' conviction was overturned in 2017 with the help of the Pennsylvania Innocent Project, and he was finally a free man.
24 years behind bars, you're now a free man. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, me and Jim gonna go eat some seafood together and talk about stuff.
And you wrote a lot of people, right?
I wrote everybody. I wrote to have my case open, everything.
And no one would take your case, no one would listen?
No, they ain't want to give me the files that I asked for, even with my attorney. And I thought that was kind of strange, but, you know, consistent. I was just consistent. That I wasn't going to die in jail.
And the truth is what you think won your freedom today?
No, I think the new people that got the Wrongful Conviction unit was some people that have integrity about their job and profession that made me see my freedom. Because they didn't have to turn it over. The other people didn't turn it over. You know, I applaud the ones that did.
Do you hold a grudge?
No, I don't hold no grudge.
Although Shaurn missed all of his 20s, 30s, and most of his 40s, he didn't seem bitter at all. In fact, he stated he didn't feel any anger, just disappointed in the system. But every day is precious to him, and he takes each day as it comes. Now, he wanted to sue or have the 2 officers that arrested him prosecuted, but by this time, they had retired and the statute of limitation for his case had expired years ago. Since he couldn't sue them, he ended up suing the city of Philadelphia, and in January of 2020, Shaurn finally got his due. For the loss of years, emotional and psychological distress caused by this wrongful conviction, the city paid him a $4.15 million settlement to end his legal claims and to start his new life. For a while, as you could expect, Shaurn was doing pretty doggone good, but I don't know if he had spent all his money and got himself in some financial problems or if he just wanted to be a drug dealer, but now he got himself in some serious trouble. After Shaurn had gotten his money, he joined a network of other Philadelphians who were freed from prison after their conviction was overturned and met this young lady named Keitra Vesey. The 2 had dated on and off for 6 years, and in the fall of 2023, Shaurn asked her to connect him with her childhood friend, 38-year-old Akeem Edwards, to see if he wanted to make some money selling drugs for him. After Akeem agreed, they met up, and Shaurn gave him a sandwich bag filled with drugs and told him to bring back $1,200 out of whatever he made. Well, after that day, Shaurn never heard or seen him again. As the kids would say, he ran off with the bag. But on January 3rd, 2023, they would meet again. On that day, Shaurn met up with Keitra at her home in Delaware, and the 2 drove to Philadelphia to run some errands. Once they finished and were about to head home, Shaurn was like, let's drive through the neighborhood to see if we can find out where Akeem is. While riding around, Shaurn spotted Akeem and told Keitra to pull over. He got out the car, walked to where Akeem was, and let off several rounds. Within seconds, he returned back to the car while putting his gun in his waistband. Now, Keitra didn't know what was going on, so she was just sitting there. So he starts yelling at her, telling her to hit it, he's down, and just drive. On their way back to her home in Delaware, Shaurn told her that it was his 3rd homicide and he can't go back to jail. Now, once they made it to their destination, he gets out the car but tells her that he knows where her children and family lived and she needed to keep her mouth shut or else. Now, a few weeks later, a federal informant told homicide detectives that Shaurn had discussed Akeem's murder with him and claimed that he put a hit out on his own girlfriend, Keitra, because he was scared she was gonna talk to the police. This led to the search of Shaurn's home, where the cops recovered 5 guns and a Gap hoodie that resembled the one Akeem's shooter wore. Shaurn was then arrested and charged with illegal gun possession, but later he was released on bail. Meanwhile, Philadelphia police kept digging into the case and got their hands on some cell phone data that pinned both Keitra and Shaurn at the scene of the crime. In March of 2023, they were arrested and both were hit with murder charges. Now, while they were locked up, Shaurn sent several letters to Keitra threatening her not to talk to the police, but fearing for her safety, she agreed to cooperate and testify against him in exchange for a lighter sentence. Keitra VC ended up pleading guilty to aggravated assault and conspiracy charges, and as for Shaurn, he didn't bother denying any of the claims in court. Instead, he pleaded guilty to 6 charges, including third-degree murder, conspiracy, and illegal gun possession. As of today, they both are awaiting trial. What do y'all think was wrong with him? This man was 50 years old and a millionaire. You would think that he would be settled and mature by now, but over $1,400 measly dollars, he chose to throw the rest of his life away. Maybe he just missed some of his homeboys in jail, but I don't know, and whatever it was, it's pretty stupid. All right, family, that will bring this video to an end. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe, and make sure you leave your thoughts on this crazy behind story. I hope you all have had a wonderful day, and until next time, stay mysterious, my friends.